Understanding is very important in order to bring generations together.
I like the word understanding. I'm still. I think I'm still young. I can say
You
I'm still
are. I
young.
always tell you you're young.
I think it's really important for us to feel like that our voices are being heard and we're actually taken into consideration. Hi everyone. My name is Marjana. I'm 18 and I'm a young reporter for the Environment for almost 3 years now. I'm very delighted to be with Yahya today.
Nice to meet you, Marjana. My name is Yahya. Regarding the young reporters, I'm a member in the national committee as a jury member, and I work as a teacher and trainer. And I believe, like when you do, programs like these, this intergenerational dialogue becomes so systematic. It becomes so healthy. It stays away from toxic energy because it is structured with training, with many things.
I have a question for you
You can ask
actually.
me for that.
So, how can our generations work together for our future?
I believe that the first thing we need to do is to understand. Understanding how intrapersonal communication works, understanding how, self-esteem work, how identity works, and so on, can help us benefit from the situation in a very good way. And then it will end up in bringing understanding to the table. And
Yeah.
understanding is very important in order to bring generations together.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like I like the word understanding because, for example, I'm still. I think I'm still young. I can say
You
I'm still
are. I
young.
always tell you you're young.
I think it's really important for us to feel like that our voices are being heard and we're actually taken into consideration. And so yeah, it's really heartwarming to hear that.
And I have a question for you. Since we're talking about a future, so what are you doing to ensure your work is made for our future?
Okay. So by work, I will mainly talk about my activities since I'm just like a high school graduate. But I would say like the main thing is to make it sustainable, just to see that what you're doing can be done anytime, anywhere, and most importantly, like the future generations will be able to do that and will be able to benefit from what you bring to the table and from the outcomes of your potential experiences and what you actually like get from them. Sharing ideas and perspectives on both national and international levels, conferences, workshops, and other activities, like it kind of shapes like the people that we become and like the future youth. So yeah.
I see. Like it's building the character, and there is something important to deal with this challenge, which is called like meta skills. So the first one is about self-awareness, knowing ourselves. The second one is creativity. So we need to be creative with what we do, and the third one here should be resilience.
Yeah.
So I believe that if you want to prepare yourself for the future, you need to think about meta skills that will control and help learning and growth. And of course, growth mindset is the name of the game in this, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think growth and innovation are like really important words that you mentioned. It kind of like shapes everything that comes after
Of
it.
course.
And
Talking about
then-
growth, do you have a second question for me?
Yeah, I do have a second
Go.
question for you. So, how can storytelling be a transformative community building tool?
I've been working with the community like in a conscious way since I was in sixth grade when I was in primary school. So it's been many years now. And I believe that storytelling can influence first perspectives. When you apply effective and persuasive storytelling, it can help you inspire communities. And when you inspire them, you change their perspectives on things and then hopefully their values and their actions. So that's how storytelling is like feeding change, positive change in a good way. So we take it from a receptive thing by listening to a productive thing by changing perspectives and changing actions.
Okay, so taking to give and to feed creativity and to feed change. I like those words. I guess you have a second question for me.
Yeah. So what is the value of intergenerational innovation and solidarity? I know that you are, starting a new chapter of your life. So how do you see the value of this in your life and, for our communities?
Well, I think from the beginning of my experience, thanks to the Mohammed VI Foundation for Environmental Protection, I think like from the very beginning, from the get-go, I was kind of like put into like this position of interacting with older people, so it kind of nurtured that will to do better, to have my fingerprint into like this whole process, and so I feel like it like that exchange of ideas and perspectives with like people from different backgrounds with different ideas, I feel like it kind of like shaped a lot of, I'd say, a lot of angles of the way that I think, and it kind of like changed my whole mindset. Because of course, when you're always surrounded by people with a lot more experience, with a more dense and rich and intense background, I feel like it can only do great things.
Of course, and to be honest, like to be practical, we highly recommend you getting like active in the communities, learning from conferences, meeting people, growing networks, because that's how we can work for sustainable development by partnerships, by connections. We hope to see you like in the conferences and everything, but we have this thing to end up with.
Here's to working together for our future.
So together for our future.